maybe like 6, 7 projects that are happening with proposals.
Mm.
So I've got quite a big team with me, about 20 plus people.
20 plus. Good.
But yeah,
Ah,
so the process safety team that I have is quite sizable, and we are looking for people because there are upcoming work.
perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe I can ask you to please introduce yourself.
Okay, let's start from where? From graduation
And
years.
yeah, okay. And also, why have you uh made this application? Yeah, for this role.
Yeah, I don't understand your application by the way, but I try to fill it as much as I can.
Okay, right, right.
Okay, I'm graduated 2008, second in my class, in a university here in Egypt called Faculty of Petroleum Mining Engineer. I was refinery department, chemical engineering, starting working for 1 year in oil treatment in a company called in a company called EGBC, General Petroleum Company. Then I switched to gas processing. This is my resume from bottom to up. Okay.
Yes, okay.
Then I switching to the oil as the gas processing, 2009, where I was working like 4 years in the LPG plant for gas processing, cryogenic, dehydrations, sweetening, separation, condensate stabilization. Then I got married, then switching to the head office for the gas engineering 2014. In 2014, I started working as a process engineer and process safety focal point at that time. During my operation life, I passing on the BSSR checklist, MOCs, as a participant, not as a focal point. Now, after 2014, I work in the gas engineering. We have a major plant. We are going to revamping our plant from 200 million, from 160 million standard cubic feet to almost 200. And I was like debottlenecking study for every skid in our plant with our EPC contractor, which at that time was MB, as an engineering company, and Petrojet as a procurement and construction company. I was the process and process safety focal point for 8 months project. Then we have like 21-day shutdown. We making full engineering deliverables for the project from, let's say, new beyond ideas, new equipments, installation, and new flaring study calculations. We added additional 7 pressure safety valve to accommodate the extra amount of gas. We changing the flare tip to be a sonic one to accommodate the extra amount to avoid the radiation because we was limited on the serious radius by centimeter. We changed a lot of like 3 bundles of the fractionator towers. We install 1 hot oil heaters, additional third one. Then after this work, I've been appreciated. I get a bonus for 2,000 Egyptian pound, which is not that big. I've been recommended by my GM Danagas, our joint venture at that time was Wustani, was Danagas. Said we have a plant in Emirates. Do you want to go there to support them? Yes. I went there for as an independent process engineer. They were in the Hazub in the feed stage. Then after 40 days of working in a Hazub, I found the project manager. I was the only Egyptian at that team, so I find my British manager telling me, Said, I want you to complete the whole project. Why? Because at that time I find a lot of 3 design mistakes. The ABC contract at that time was Exotran, and they was proposing using a hot oil, Texaserm 32, which have a boiling point 250, where our heat and temperature balance saying that we are going to use the hot oil at 350 Celsius, which is 100 degree above the boiling point. So any leak will be a fire. We eliminated the hazard. I still remember I walked from my hotel to the office at 12 o'clock, at 12 a.m. I print 20 copy of the data sheet, then going to the Hazard Sherman. Please, this is wrong. We need a conference with suppliers. It was Texas firm Houston, and the reply from their side was that this is what originally what we're using.
Sorry,
After
this is not usually what.
that, originally what we are using, this is the ordinary one we are using. Then they realized it is a mistake. Then they changed it to be Texas Firm 64, which have a boiling point almost 400 Celsius. Then I have butting all the project, all the ABC phases. I sitting in Exeter head office, receiving all the process safety. You can name it: hazard, bow-tie, major accident hazard, the safety critical element, identification, performance test, and then we're having the QRA for our platform on the offshore. Then we have and compliance with the ABI. Then we have the hydro test for the subsea pipeline. Then we have the QRA for the whole plan, the offshore, the onshore. What else? This is the process safety part related to the process engineering. I make a simulation case for the whole plant. We find one major issue for the flare header also. It was designed to have like 15-meter length, and the stereo radius was like 60 meter, which was corresponding to, as per ABI 521. Take your time. Which
No. It's okay. Yeah.
which corresponding to ABI 521 to 4.7 kilowatt per meter square. That was the limit for the radiation according to ABI 521. But this is for the people who are working and wearing full PPE. Our plant was beside the highway, so there's a public people. So we have to reduce this 4.7 to 1.9. That has been done by increasing the flare header stack by extra 9 meter, because we already was on the limit of the service release. So it was a big fight. I'm making the hand calculation, then I make it on Excel sheet from the ABI. Then we're going there, presenting it to the engineering manager for Xplan. My project manager, so he was like, say, lead this. And at that time, I was leading it a little bit, not that high. It was like 6 years experience at that time. Then we won the fight. They're going to make it again, and the increasing. We was lucky because it was self-structure header, the same as we using in the FPSO, not gyre wided. It is a steel structure. So basically, they was able to add it another 9 meter of the flare. And that's it. We handed over to operation. I trained them operation. I even received the DCS graphs at that time because of my operation experience. Then, after 2016, I returned back to Egypt, and that was my starting point. I returned back to Egypt. That was my starting point. Why? Because I take my manager Sohail's resume, I put it on front of my partition, then start to work on it. Basically, Sohail know process engineering because of his background. I start to work as a part-time process engineer. Start to lead a lot of hazards. By yesterday, I was leading a hazard for a privileged company. Food companies, Pepsi. Pepsi.
Beverage.
Yes, they making now a new factory in Port Said here. They want to hazard the utility, the boilers, the high pressure compressors.
Wow.
And it was at first strange for me, but I realized it is the same PLD, the same concept, the same utility as we have. That was yesterday, by the way.
So no secret recipe?
No secret recipe. It is all about the concentration they're bringing from outside.
Mm-hmm.
But typical RO units, typical compressor, typical mixing regulation tanks, mixers, nothing. Some concentration for the 7-Up, some concentration for Fat Mirinda, some concentration for Coke, and that's it. And I take a big plate when I was moving. I think by hazard yesterday I'm making more than 100 hazard now. I was like last November in Kazakhstan doing hazard for NCOC. It is a joint venture between ENI, Shell, Total, and Kazakhstani company. You can expect how much guidelines I have to satisfy it. It was a big fight. Hazoop, and we doing Hazoop and Luba after it. We're doing in a software called SLM. It is American software. Has all the integrity life cycle of the instrumentation. You know, IEC have 11 stage for the instrumentation life cycle. IEC 61511 have
Okay, right.
11 stage for the life cycle from the day you buy the instrument device till the day till you decommissioning it. So the SLM was having all that from the Hazoop cell assessment, then even the cell revalidation. That was a good part there. I learned the SLM. Typically, I'm doing my Hazoop and by PH Pro 8, which I was doing yesterday. I can share with you the screen if you want. Then
Oh, it's okay. Yeah.
I just open it and open fast also on my background here. So
So, wait, what background?
fast software.
Okay. So you also use Fast, yeah?
Yes, of course, bow ties.
Okay. And bow ties, yeah?
From 2016, I work in my day-to-day shift. I turned it back to operation to have one month on, 1 month off. So when I have 1 month off, I work as process and process safety. I enter a company called DR Consulting here in Egypt. It's a small company. They was trying to establish a process and process safety team. Now, after from 2016 till now, 6 years, now I have under my supervision in the process department, I have 4 process engineers. In the process safety, I have 6 process safety engineers. From the 6 process safety engineers, 3 of them are certified from IKEMI. I was mentoring them because I forget to say, 2016 I get my charter degree. 2021 I become a professional process safety from IKEMI UK. Also, I take my master degree and I take my MBA and I'm working for my PhD. My master degree was for the gas processing and LPG recovery. Sorry, I was jumping to the.
Oh, okay. No worries. No worries.
That's the point now. The one of the biggest, was a good part for me is MES. When I start working with MES, MES is a United Kingdom engineering company. This is a small company, but they are delivering a lot of process safety studies to ENI because they are Italian owners. So I work with Saipem for a lot of QRAs for floating vessels and a lot of Hazoop. I lead a lot of Hazoop. I started in 2016 with describing. 18 I lead almost 20 Hazoop for floating engineers. Some of them new design, some of them was validations. Then I have like 2 QRAs. One of QRAs I did it myself. One of QRAs I was just preparing it for the fast, sectionalizing. When you're starting in the QRA, you're making the sections, making the valves, highlighting. That's it from my side.
Okay. Right. For the studies that you do,
Yes.
do you do any CFD modeling?
What do you mean
Are
by
you
soft emailing?
for the studies that you do you do any CFD modeling?
What do you mean by safety modeling? Because maybe a
Oh,
different
no,
name.
not safety. CFD, computational fluid dynamics.
Dynamics only on HISIS dynamics.
Okay, right. So no CFD.
No, that you speak about the depressurizations and the clouds, the fib.
For fire and explosion and
Yes.
dispersion.
That's what's coming from the fast. But fast call it dispersion modeling. And,
Right.
and explosion modeling. They're not doing it as CFD as Merit doing it. The
Right.
other software Merit from Shell.
Okay. So I see that you have some offshore experience as well, yeah?
Yes, from the commission, startup, design.
Commissioning, setup and design.
Platform, unmanned
Okay.
platform, and manned platform.
So it seems to me that, yes?
Also, I make as a part-time. You can see in my resume, I'm making the HSE case for Gaisun Style, which is a 3-platform complex, 3-platform together for the Petrogulf, one of our clients here in Egypt. full HSE case from the HAZOP, alarm demonstration, QRA for the platform. What else?
Okay. Right. So it seems to me that you have quite a lot going for you. Now, why would you maybe want to shift to doing process safety for FPSOs in
Not,
Singapore?
not shifting. Let me put it this way. FPSO is the future. That's simple. Shell future plan is going to LNG. So any gas plant they having now, they are just preserve it or just selling as they did it in Egypt. BP are doing the same. So the future for Shell side or Shell company is Egyptian is LNG. That's why I'm saying that when I working with the Saipem, when I see the new Mozambique, the West African LNG, I did the hazard from that one. It was very impressive for me compared to the onshore side where the gas plant was the fixed LPG plant to the FPSO. A lot of challenging there, a lot of massive of challenges from the spacing, from the layouts, from the escape routes, from everything. Even the dispersion was very challenging. The dispersion when you have two fleets or two ships, one is the FPSO and the other one is the one who taking the oil from it. The minimum distance between the ships you have to keep it. It was a lot of challenges to me. That's why another thing, the company where I working now, yes, I am appreciated. How I can say it. When manager trying to take some technical decisions, Said come tell us what's your opinion. We need to listen to your opinion about this. I've been appreciated. I got a lot of bonus, technical bonus, a lot of them. But on the other hand, when I was in Kazakhstan, when I see the Shell international staff, ENI international staff, Total international staff attending my HAZOP session, and I was defeating I was challenging them. I don't know. I feeling that I need a better place. That's it. But my company is very good. They're giving me a good salary, actually, and I'm stable in Egypt. But you yourself, when you're reaching this, let me show in my hand, which you see go to this steady state level. I've been with this plant like for now 7 years now. Every problem I can solve it now with my while I am sleeping, if I am allowed to say it. It's not professional to say it, but I'm familiar with every problem there now. So I built a dynamic model for the whole plant. I know the effects, I know the problems. I make a hazard validation with our technician. It was the first time they hear about it. You just imagine I doing a hazard with only operators. Why I was doing that at night shift? To help them understand how the effect of any manual valve they are closing. This was one of my attempts to raise their safety cultures. Because typically when we're doing the hazard in Egypt, we're doing English. My operators don't speak English. They are only Arabic native speaker. So from operating procedures, I write it in Arabic for log out, tag out, critical valves, walk through. I learning them how to do it. Also, my part-time work helped me a lot because in 2019, the petroleum ministry here in Egypt asked all companies to make an HSE case, gap analysis. So, or implement process safety. That was the facts which is being for every company here in Egypt. During my work in DR Consulting Group, we take one of this for one of the refineries, big refinery in Egypt. I was making gap analysis for the 14 element OSHA process safety management. And after like 6 months of work with them, they are now complying with 55%. This is by the end of 2019. They was complying by 56% with the 14 elements. They didn't have any discipline for the process safety. They now having a process safety discipline composed of 30% because they are like 2,000 to 500 employees. I choose 30% from them to facilitate or to manage the process safety. I bought a training matrix for all of them for the 30% and a training matrix for all the company to raise the level of the process safety in the company, because he was going to ask in the interview stage, what do you know about the process safety? Yes, it is the helmet and the coverall and the PPE. And I was like, okay, there's a big gap here. You know, that's why I make 5 courses to cover all the 2,500. What is the PSM? What's your personal or what's your rule? Emergency response plan? How you doing it? And then for the 30%, I'm making a job description, the courses you have to take it. Most of the 30 people now, I met them in the last conference here in Egypt. They all now certified HAZOP leadership from TUV Ireland. I recommended them to TUV Ireland at that time. They are now functional safety engineers. The company buy fast software for them. They take the training for QRA.
For functional safety, do you do
Yes.
cell verification?
Yes, of course. Cell architectures and the PFD for every
Sorry?
cell architectures. Let's bring the safe
Yeah.
architecture and then calculate the PFD for each one.
Mm.
Do you want me to share
Okay,
my
so-
screen?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Let me open it 1 minute. I do it in Excel sheets, by the way, so don't be surprised. Verifications. Let's take the UGDC one, which you did it. Let's share my screen. Where is it? Don't be surprised. This is the benefit of SLM software. And SLM software, the maintenance people put the input for them, and it's calculating the achieved cell rating.
Okay.
That's the benefit of the software. I find it in Kazakhstan. But typically, this is after 5 years, we have the detected, undetected failures, calculating the same equation in IEC, then having the total PFD for the CEF. And we verified it.
Right, I see.
You can see all the
Okay.
pressure alarms, all the CEFs, which we have it in this UGDC. Here we have almost all Yuka Java. That's it.
Okay. Right, so verification is also something that we do in-house. So
Good.
I'm also looking for people who can use Excellencia to do cell verification.
Good.
Yeah.
As
So
long as
it's
you
good
are
to
not
know
using, as long as you're not using generic data.
Definitely not vendor data.
Hi. You know the tricks.
Yes.
Yes. So please
So we
don't,
can't trust that.
because
yeah.
because in Kazakhstan, one of the units which we was doing, it was like it's 5 years ago was started, so we always doing cell verification, and when we ask for the real data, no side using the CCPS data, which is why. What is the benefit? It's not giving you a real representative of what's your condition now. That was the client requirement, because they don't have at that time, there was like 2 years implementing the SLM, they didn't have a full data, so they was planning in 2027 to have another cell verification at that time, would be correct one. after 5 years that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds very sensible thing to do. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have like any questions for me?
Yes. What's the plan?
What's the plan? Okay. So right now I'm looking to recruit for let me see. Could be project, could be proposals. Right. I am because we've got so many things happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, could be also for technical experts.
Okay.
And so I'm in the office in Singapore. We are doing EPCI, but we are part of also a group, Global Process Safety, where we've got our experts. So we've got process safety experts, we've got functional safety experts.
Good.
Right, and we work closely with our operations counterparts. Right, so for MODEC operations would mostly be in Brazil, Perth, in Africa, West Africa.
Oh, which visit you have in West Africa?
We have got. Is it going to be decommissioned? Good point. I've forgotten.
I don't.
Because we are.
I don't know that you have in West Africa.
Yeah,
typically I search your website. I was like, yes, you have in Brazil, you have even in UK, if I'm not mistaken. But
yes,
West Africa, I know
but it's
that.
like operation support office.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have our proposals in Houston.
Good.
Right. So it's a matter of finding out, what actually suits a person.
Okay.
Right. And that's what I'm intending to do. Okay? So for the sort of like higher levels where we're talking about technical experts, right? Then this is only like the first pass, yeah.
Okay.
Right, where I'm not going to be the one, making that final decision. So, which is why I'm asking about, the SIL verification, right? What you've been doing, right? And but my main goal really is for EPCI for Singapore right now.
Okay. This makes sense. Yes. Okay. How many projects we have in hand now?
About 6 or 7. I think you're frozen. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can see you.
Yeah. Okay. Right, because your view has frozen.
Ah, not frozen. I'm not moving.
We have got.
Now I'm moving.
Yeah. 6 to 7 projects.
Okay.
Or bids as well. Yeah. So it's a combined.
Let me ask
There are many
something
things
because your
happening.
job description is not clear for me a little bit. You want me for leading HAZOPs, cell verification, cell identifications, leading some QRAs, if I'm not mistaken, PUTIs, if I'm not mistaken also. You doing PUTIs?
Sorry again?
PUTI. Safety critical element.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
The question
performance
is
standards and assurance tasks.
yes. The question from my side. The position name is Global Process Safety Engineer, which is a little bit confusing for me. I will be responsible for a group of process safety engineer, or I'm doing alone, or what? How it's work?
Oh, okay. So for each project, we have got a group or a team here of engineers.
Good.
So they're usually led by a lead.
Good.
Right, and then 2 or 3 engineers under him or her, under the lead. So each project would have this team.
Good.
Right, and we will start with when we have that contract award from actually no, so it is blurred a little bit where we also do feed.
Good.
Right. So it really depends on
Good.
where we start, yeah, on the project. So in the past we have received it at the EPCI stage, and now we are more involved in the feed as well.
Good. 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 Very good.
Yeah. So
Actually.
it would be all the way from that point to first oil. Right, after which it really depends on whether or not, if you're interested, then you can follow on to operations.
Good.
Right, if not, then it's something where okay, we look for the next project that comes.
Okay. So,
Mm.
if we're speaking about the design phase, yes, I can support. If we're speaking about operation phase, definitely I can support.
Yes, I heard that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am thinking loudly how I can fit there.
Mm.
Ah,
Also, like, I mean, if you're interested also with construction sort of experiences, we also do send our engineers to the yards, construction and installation yards. Yeah.
yes, but
To
this is most practical for occupational safety, not process safety, right?
uh, for
Yes, tell me.
safety critical equipment, SCE performance standards for construction and commission.
Ah, you got me.
Yeah, and
You have
and
a
site
point here.
verification of actions.
Yes,
Yeah,
you have a point. Yeah.
so that
Okay.
actually has in the recent years we have started more of that. Yeah.
Good. Good. Good.
So the
Good.
yachts that we use mostly in China
Okay. No problem. I
or
don't.
Singapore. Mm.
I don't have any problem of traveling. I love traveling actually.
And your family? You have a
Yes,
family
I
with you?
have a family who is in Egypt. So that was asking what the plan. What do you have? What is the vacation frequency we have there?
Oh, okay. So those sort of questions actually need to be asked to HR, right?
Tita?
Oh, you're okay to try to sorry?
Tita? Her name is Tita?
Yes,
Yeah. Titi,
T
yeah.
T
Okay.
T T. Yeah, so you are okay to travel. You have got a family and children as well?
Yes, two twins.
Oh,
Boys.
oh, good luck.
Boys.
Boys or girls?
Yeah, boys.
Oh,
Ah, there's a big fight here.
right.
I, I escaped from them to have this interview.
Now you say you have an interview to escape from them, right?
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay. How old are your twins?
6 years, but they are not traveling. Basically, I
Six.
yes, basically I what I'm trying to say is that I travel. I don't have any problem to travel to support project for a certain time. Then like 2 weeks, 1 weeks, like a period every 2 months, 3 months. This life of style I love it.
Okay. Right. So that usually people are given a fixed number of leave, so it's not so much like operations. But I understand that if you're wanting to come, it's going to be yourself only. Yeah?
Yes. This is a
Okay.
project. This is sorry. Let me understand because the agency which bringing me here didn't give me the whole info.
Yeah.
Really, really, wallahi, I was like, okay, so he telling me it's like this is a 2 years contract that you're going to work like 3 months, then you have 2 weeks off,
Oh.
and I was like,
I
what are you saying? 3 months, then 2 weeks off, which is very bad cycle. I was like, what are you trying to say? And then he told me, okay, you ask them everything you want, and I was like, okay.
right, right.
So what is the typically there? What typically at your side? Are you giving every 6 weeks, 2 months? Are you giving break or what?
That's only if you are inbound assignee. So if you come from one of our offices, like say from Brazil office,
Yeah,
then it's that sort of arrangement. But if you're hired directly, then
yeah.
it would be different. Yeah, it wouldn't be a set home leave.
Okay. Both
Yeah.
are fine for
So
me. It depends on what kind of arrangement you're doing. If I am going to stay in Singapore, I will bring my family. If I am going in a rotation, I will keep them in Egypt. That's
okay, I see what you mean. Okay.
that's Yes, I have two children.
Uh, okay. So, most likely, because it's a project, it's going to be very fast paced and
Yeah,
uh,
a lot.
basically the project usually cannot afford like a 2 week,
Yeah.
uh, off, yeah, every 3 months. So typically, no.
Okay. I can survive with that for a project. Then a big leaves after the project finished, as usual. Yeah, when I finished the Emirates project was like 18 months. Yeah, 1 year and a half. I just was like, okay, 1 month off for for just me and the family only.
Uh, 6 years old is it's a good time to be with them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
from
have a
six
lot.
to 12, it's just this time.
Yes, it's we have a lot of fights.
Ah,
Yes,
really?
to attend this interview, I have to bring for them two toys. Everyone two toys. It was like a treadmill. Okay, we will give you like 1 hour for the interview. We will keep silent, but you have to bring chocolates and toy. Okay, you know.
Oh, I think you love your kids.
Yeah, of course.
Um, do you have any other questions that, maybe I can answer? And yeah,
Yes, I will be reporting to you, right?
yes, that's correct.
Yes, this will be good.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I don't
let's
love
make
the.
it.
No, no, no. I don't love the manager who not smiling. So I love your smile.
Ah,
This will be.
okay.
No, no. It is really. I'm not speaking. Wallahi, I am speaking in my way. This is my perception. When you're smiling, you're making everything easy. By the end of the day, we are going to deliver our job in that way, in a high efficiency way. But by the end of the 2 years or by the end of the project, you will remember the smile or remember the man who's not never smiling. Yeah, that's why
It's too
from
hard if you don't, laugh about it.
yes till now
As it's yeah, challenging.
yeah, and from 2016 till now, my British manager Sohail was like only on a weekly basis we are chatting with each other. Why? Because he was like very, 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 very funny man. you just you deliver almost point 0.5 billion project. Alhamdulillah, and it's working. It is now providing electricity for Sharjah Emirates, and we're still in contact. He was asking me for another project in Kurdistan, Iraq. I told him no, Kurdistan is very bad. Don't go there.
Uh, so Singapore is very,
Yeah,
yeah, Singapore is good.
I
Yeah,
hear a lot about Singapore. I hear a lot of
yeah,
stories
very
about
good.
Singapore. I love to be there.
Have you been here before?
No, but
Not on holiday?
not on holiday, and my the process safety lead which I was reporting to here in Kazakhstan was from Singapore.
Oh,
At that
okay.
time was the first time they are contracting the agency asking me can you go to Singapore, and I was going to her office. I have this opportunity. What I should do? Is it good? She told me you will live the best 2 years in your life. So I am ready.
It's I think very hot sometimes, but
Yeah.
you should be okay with that.
Yes, I'm from Egypt, I
It's
work in the
very
desert.
hot.
I work in the desert before, don't worry.
Okay. Right. I think we have got maybe. How long was this interview scheduled? Okay, let me just.
From the meeting and
Uh,
invitation, 1 hour.
hmm.
If you want to ask
Okay.
me anything, I'm ready.
I think I'm okay, right? If I need any extra information, then I will go through TT.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So
What's our plan
yeah,
for starting? When we are planning to start, if we are passing this stage?
what is your
To
what is your notice period?
1 month.
Oh, your notice period is 1 month. Right. Is this all information given to HR already?
Yes, of course. Hopefully, the
Oh,
agency, they are very fast.
right. So. I see, I see. Okay, I see that's this information. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think, Syed, if there's nothing more, then we'll end this interview. Right. If
Okay.
there's anything, you can contact HR, and if we want to follow up, also it will be through to G. Okay.
Okay. Thanks. It was my
Okay. It's very
pleasure to
nice to
meet
meet
you.
you.
You also. I really love it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. You take care.
Thank you. See ya.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye. انا اكلت انا اكلت اصلا. ايه